Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of our article on being a good sport, showing good sportsmanship. I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
And we are back talking about, well, we talked yesterday about what makes somebody a good sport.
So you need to be polite when you lose and also when you win.
Yeah, exactly. When you win, when you lose, you say good game either way. When you win, you congratulate when your opponent wins.
Yeah, be gracious.
You congratulate them.
And maybe always shake your opponent's hand.
Yeah, and also don't make the game, unfun for fans and don't be rude to match officials because they are just trying to do their job. Yeah, I think it must be really hard to be a match official because coaches and players and fans all hate you.
Yes.
They all think you are terrible when you call a bad play against their team.
Right.
Yeah, or any play against their team.
Okay, so try to do those polite things and maybe you'll be admired more.
Yes, exactly. If people know you're a good sport, then they will be happier to play you. They won't be afraid that you're going to get angry.
True.
Yeah. So we're actually going to take a look at some real-life examples of good sportsmanship today, and I really like these. I think these are going to be some really good stories. So let's get right in the article and find out more.
Reading.
Being a good sport. Here are some examples of good sportsmanship. Derek Jeter. Jeter spent his whole baseball career with the New York Yankees. He played his last game at Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are the Yankees' bitter rivals, and their fans spent a lot of time booing him. After the game, Jeter thanked all the Red Sox players, and the fans showed him their respect and admiration. Nigel Mansell. British racing driver Mansell won the 1991 British Grand Prix after a hard battle with rival Ayrton Senna. Senna ran out of fuel and was left with a long walk back to the garage. During Mansell's victory lap, he picked up Senna and let him ride on the car. Carl Ludwig. Laz Long. Long was a German Olympic athlete in 1936 when the Nazis ruled Germany. Despite the Nazis' racist policies, Long helped African-American athlete Jesse Owens during the Olympic Games. They were both competing in the long jump, and Long gave Owens advice after he messed up 2 jumps. Owens won the gold medal, but Long still congratulated him in front of Hitler and other leading Nazis.
All right, so our article starts out by setting us up for the stories. Here are some examples of good sportsmanship.
这里有一些好的运动家精神的例子。
The first one is Derek Jeter. Jeter spent his whole baseball career with the New York Yankees, the Yanks. So a career in this case is a period of time you spend in a job or profession. It could also be the job or profession that you do for a long time. So you could say, I have a career in art. You could say, I have a career in teaching. So it's not like, you're an artist at one company, you're a teacher at one school. It's your whole length of time that you are working at this job, no matter where. So you could say, after a long career as an actor, Arnold decided to try running for office, which means to try and become a politician. That's a real one. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he became
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's right, he became the governor of California.
Yes, he did. Okay, career 在这边呢，就是职业生涯的意思。所以呢，我也可以说I have a career in English teaching.
Yeah, I have a career in editing, you could say, and art.
那这边我们讲到的 New York Yankees, 那就是美国职业棒球队纽约洋基，大家应该都知道。那课文说到的这个人啊 Jeter, 他整个职业生涯都在纽约洋基队。
So, he played his last game at Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox. The rival team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fenway Park 那就是红袜队的主场，芬威球场。I've been there.
You have?
Once.
I've never been to Boston, so I've never...
And guess what? I fell asleep when I was watching the baseball game.
I'm not surprised. American baseball is much more boring than Taiwanese
baseball. It was so slow.
They really don't do much to make the game more exciting.
Right.
I think here the baseball games are more exciting
So
in
after
person.
I had my hot dog and my beer, I was like, oh, what's going on now? Let's just take a nap.
Oh, no. And when you woke up, were they done?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, my God. Baseball games take a long time. They're not my favorite sport to watch. I do like watching the baseball games in person here. Anyway, so the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are the Yankees' bitter rivals, and their fans spent a lot of time booing him. So rivals, as you can guess, it's a person or thing that tries to defeat or be more successful than another person, or team in this case. These two teams, they're always butting heads. They're always trying to win over each other, and their fans do not like the other team. They don't like each other. It's kind of all marketing too, like, a rival makes it more exciting. But definitely, the fans were not happy to see him there. They were like, boo, And that's what the next word is, to spend time booing somebody. To boo means to show dislike or disapproval by shouting boo slowly. Not boo quickly to scare somebody.
Boo.
Do you guys also shout this at games and stuff and concerts or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, so boo is a multilingual word.
Kind of.
Huh.
OK, 所以刚刚讲到的波士顿红袜队，那就是纽约洋基队的敌手，而且是个强劲的敌手。所以我们看到 rival 这个字就是竞争对手或敌手，那前面用了这个形容词 bitter rivals， 代表这个敌手非常的强劲，非常的难缠。好，所以这两队他们彼此是强劲的对手，然后刚好这个 Jeter 他在波士顿红袜队的主场，也就是芬威球场要完成他的最后一场比赛。再来我们看到这个字 boo， 向点点点发出嘘声，或是向点点点喝倒彩，所以波士顿红袜的球迷都对他发出嘘声，对这个 Jeter。
So, yeah, the fans spent a lot of time booing him. It was his last game. He was going to retire from baseball after this. After the game, Jeter thanked all the Red Sox players, and the fans showed him their respect and admiration. That's very nice. So actually, the fans this whole time were like, boo, Derek Jeter, boo, But afterward, he thanked all the Red Sox players, which is his rival team. He said thank you to all of them for playing against him. And then the fans were like, okay, he's an all-right guy. He's a cool guy. That's good sportsmanship. We like that. We love to see it. So they showed him their admiration. Admiration is the noun version of admire from yesterday. So you add T-I-O-N, or in this case, A-T-I-O-N at the end, and you make it a noun. Now you can't just put admiration. That sounds really silly. So we turn it into admiration.
Admire 这个字我们在前一天有看到，指的是很钦佩崇拜，那它的名词这边出现了 admiration。所以课文说到，在这场比赛结束之后呢，Jeter 向所有红袜队的球员表示谢意，然后球迷呢也对他展现尊重和敬仰。
So that was an example of good sportsmanship. Great way to end a career. And then the next example we have is Nigel Mansell. This is my favorite story out of the bunch. British racing driver Mansell won the 1991 British Grand Prix after a hard battle with rival Ayrton Senna.
Racing 表示的是赛车比赛的或是速度比赛的，所以英国这个赛车手他在1991年的时候赢得了这场英国大奖赛，这是赛车界最重要的盛事。那他强劲的对手就是 Senna。那这里用到 hard 形容这场比赛，当然也可以用我们 Day 1 当中学的 tough。
That's right. So a tough battle. Basically, they were racing for, I think, hours. They did like a couple hundred laps or something.
Wow.
They're in Formula One racing. So it's those cars that are shaped like kind of a rocket, and then they have 4 large wheels on the outside. They're not
F1.
like, F1, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's a very long day. You have to concentrate a lot. Senna ran out of fuel and was left with a long walk back to the garage. Oh, that sucks. So to run out of something means you use it all up, you don't have any left. And what did he run out of? Fuel. Cars need fuel. Fuel is a material that you burn to produce heat or power. So like in old stoves, you would burn wood. Maybe you would burn coal for your barbecue, something like that. But in cars, they burn gasoline. So gasoline is the fuel for most cars still today, even though we're turning more and more to electric cars. Most of them still run on gasoline, which is a type of fuel. So, for example, you could say this car can go for 40 miles on 1 gallon of fuel. Now, where does he have to walk back to? He ran out of fuel in the middle of the racetrack. So he's really, really far away from the garage because the racetrack is really big. So he has to go back to the garage. That's the building or part of a building where a car or truck or motorcycle or something else like that is kept. Or it might mean a place that repairs cars too, kind of like a mechanic. When you own a house and there's like a part at the bottom with a big door that goes up and you can put your car inside, that's a garage. Now, racing places have a garage where the cars get fixed up and then they keep going. That's called the pit. But yeah, that's where he had to go back to. He was trying to get back to the garage. And so for an example sentence, you could say, let's put your bike in the garage, or someone might steal it. Oh, one more note. British people say garage instead of garage. Garage.
Oh, so same spelling.
Same spelling, just different pronunciation. Garage, garage.
Garage.
Yeah.
好，那我们先看到 run out of something， 这个用法代表的是用完、耗尽，所以给同学们一个例句咯。We ran out of bread and milk, so please get some on your way home. 我们的牛奶跟面包用完了，所以呢，你回家的时候麻烦帮忙买一些。再来 fuel 这个字呢，代表的是燃料。那车库或汽车维修厂称为 garage。那如果我们是要去外面玩啦，我们要停在停车场里面，那用的这个是 parking lot 这两个字。那一格车位是 a parking space。所以课文说 Senna 的赛车耗尽了燃料，并且离车库还有很长的一段距离。
Right. So, basically what happened, a little more background, is that Senna had already won, Mansell had already won. Senna was in second place, was going to take second place, and then he ran out of gas. And he just had to stop his car, and people were like, what's going on? So he was stopped on the side of the racetrack. Mansell's already taking his victory lap, and Senna can't win now. He can't finish the race. It's kind of sad. So anyway, what happens next? During Mansell's victory lap, he picked up Senna and let him ride on the car.
Wow.
Not in the car. There's only one space for the driver, but on the car.
On the car.
Yes.
On the car.
Yeah, it was fun.
那我们这边看到的 victory lap， 它就是赛车专业术语当中的胜利圈，就是比赛结束之后呢，获胜的车手会以比较慢的速度绕赛道一圈，以庆祝胜利和接受观众的表扬。那 lap 在这边指的就是跑道的一圈，所以 Mansell 还载了 Senna 一程。That was very nice of him.
Very, very good sportsmanship. And,
yes.
And actually, the safety officials were trying to get him not to do it because it was, there were fast cars going around. But he did it anyway and just took off. And it's still a very, very legendary moment in F1 racing.
Yes.
Yes. So the next example we have is Carl Ludwig Lutz Long. I guess his name is probably pronounced Lutz.
Lutz.
Yeah. Long was a German Olympic athlete in 1936 when the Nazis ruled Germany. That was a controversial time. So, athlete is a person who is trained in or good at sports. They're the people who compete in the Olympics or other games, or they're maybe very good at exercise that requires physical skill and strength. I would say Elsie is an athlete.
No, I'm not.
Oh, come on, but you go to the gym a lot, don't you?
Yes, but still, I don't consider myself an athlete.
Okay, if you say so. I think athletes, they're people who take part in sports and are usually quite good at them. So, for an example, you could say some of the best college athletes go on to do professional sports after they graduate.
athlete 指的就是运动员。好，所以刚刚 Kat 说我是个运动员 No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Or I'm just being humble.
Maybe you
and
are.
polite.
You are.
好，这边说到 Long， 他在1936年的时候代表德国参加奥林匹克运动会。那当时呢，德国是被纳粹党统治的。Rule 这边当动词用，代表统治。
So at that time, it was the Nazis ruling Germany. That was Hitler's party. And of course, if we know much about them, we know that they only liked white people.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it was. And they showed that in many different ways that were really horrible. So what happened there? What happened to make him such a good sport during this time? Despite the Nazis' racist policies, Long helped African-American athlete Jesse Owens during the Olympic Games. Despite here is this word to mean without being stopped by something. So the Nazis had these racist policies, but still he wanted to help somebody who was a different race than him. And racist here means poor treatment or violence against people because of their race. So a lot of racism is done against maybe black people or indigenous people, basically because they are black or because they are indigenous. That's racism. And the Nazis did a lot of that.
这里看到的 despite 好是个介系词哦，代表尽管即使，我们也可以用 in spite of 来说。那不管你用哪一个，后面记得加上的是名词或是 VING。那如果你真的想要加一个子句的话，你可以用这样的方式 despite the fact that 后面加上子句。So for example, despite the fact that I don't like him, I still try to be polite to him. 好，尽管我不喜欢他，我还是试着要礼貌对待他。那再来这个字 racist 形容词种族歧视的，所以尽管纳粹党有严重的种族歧视 Long 还是帮助了非裔美籍的运动员
Right.
Owens?
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens.
Yes, he's one of the most famous running stars from the past century. He was one of the first black people to be a professional runner.
Cool.
Yeah. And he was very good at it. And keep in mind, these Olympics were happening in Berlin. So it was in Germany at the time.
Wow.
They were both competing in the long jump, and Long gave Owens advice after he messed up 2 jumps. Okay, so they were competing. We've already used this word a whole bunch, but it means to try to get or win something, such as a prize or a reward, in this case a medal, that someone else is also trying to win. So it means to try and be better, more successful than somebody else. So, for example, you can compete in any sort of game where you are, trying to win against somebody else. For example, Derek competes in his school's English speech competition every year, and he usually wins.
Compete 那就是竞争的意思。Compete in something 就是在比赛项目中竞争。Compete with somebody 那就是跟某人竞争。那再来呢，竞争一定会有竞赛举行，竞赛就是用到 competition 这个字，那里面的竞争者 competitor， 那他们必须要非常有竞争力，跟彼此竞争，有竞争力的那就是 competitive。那再来的 messed up something 把点点点搞砸或是把点点点弄糟，在讲的就是课文当中说到他们两人在跳远项目竞争，而 Long 在 Owens 跳失败2次之后给他建议。
So the long jump is, the thing where you run and then you try and make the longest jump possible into some sand.
跳远。
Yes. And what happened? Owens won the gold medal. Woohoo! So Jesse Owens, the first black man to win a gold medal in the Olympics.
Wait, so Long helped him.
Yes, he did.
He gave him advice.
Yes, he did.
And then in the end, Owens won the gold medal.
That's right. But Long still congratulated him in front of Hitler and other leading Nazis.
Ooh.
Kind of dangerous.
Yes.
But I think he didn't think so at the time, and he still wanted to be a good sport because, showing good behavior is very important, and it makes him, somebody who's remembered well. So Owens won the gold medal. That was a big deal. A medal is a piece of metal, often in the form of a coin with designs and words to honor like a special event or person or achievement. In this case, it's the Olympics. Every person who wins first, second, or third place gets a medal. First place wins gold, second place wins silver, third wins bronze. There can also be, in other events, there are platinum medals, which is one step above gold. That's like the 0th place almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
The best of the best.
The best of the best. So, for example, you could say the brave soldier received a medal for saving another soldier's life during the battle.
Medal 代表的是奖牌、奖章。那在奥运里面，我们都会看到有3种奖牌，一个是金牌 （gold medal）， 银牌 （silver medal）。那铜牌会用到 bronze medal， 那这些奖牌都是用金属制成的，金属这个字是 metal， M-E-T-A-L。
Yes,
metal。要小心这2个字的不同。所以最后说到呢 ，Owens 赢得了比赛 ，Long 还是在希特勒和其他纳粹领导人面前恭喜他。
So that is extremely good sportsmanship. Even sort of at a risk, it might be a little bit dangerous to show that kind of sportsmanship when somebody is watching you who doesn't like it. So I think those are all great examples. I think that really shows that people can act very admirably when they are playing sports, and they will be remembered very, very well for it.
Right. Did he leave Germany safe and sound?
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, this was before World War II started. So I hope so. I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll find out. You can find out for yourself. You guys can look up. His name is Ludwig Long. Ludwiglong. Yeah, Ludwig Long. Anyway, that's all we've got for our article, and we hope you've enjoyed learning about these examples of being a good sport. Let's go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
Okay, so for today's For You Chat question, Kat, can you think of any other famous examples of good or bad sportsmanship? What happened?
So I can think of an example of bad sportsmanship that happened very, very recently. At the time we're recording this, probably 4 days ago. In Indonesia, there was a soccer match going on between 2 rival teams, just like the Red Sox and the Yankees. The soccer match ended with, I think it was the home team lost. And it was the first time they'd lost in about 20 years at home.
Ooh.
At home. Like, they'd lost away games, but they hadn't lost home games. So
they're not used to losing.
Their fans were not used to losing. And the fans got extremely mad and went onto the field and started a riot.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then it got worse because the police were called and they shot tear gas into the crowd in the stadium. And there was a stampede, which is like when people try and rush to the exit all at the same time, and 120 people died.
Because they fell down. And
they got trampled and they got stepped on and crushed and things like that, yeah. And 180 more people are still injured in the hospital.
Why did I read that news?
Did you read it?
No, why didn't I?
I don't know. It's big news in the sports world, but maybe in general it might not be. Yeah, it's very sad. It's like the biggest tragedy in sports in like 50 years, from what I heard. Yeah. So, I mean, keep this in mind, guys. If you are in a stadium watching a game, please be safe and don't make a big fuss as a fan when your team is losing, because it can lead to dangerous situations and you don't want bad things to happen.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, when you're watching sports, be safe, be nice, be polite, be respectful.
And it's okay to lose.
It is okay to lose. And it's okay if your team loses. They can always win again.
Yeah.
Just keep supporting them.
And they can get better.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all we've got for our article on good sportsmanship. And we will see you next time for English for You. I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Career. Jack started his teaching career at a small school in Sanxia. Now he's a principal in Taipei. Fuel. Jacob's car stopped on his way to work because there was not enough fuel in it. Garage. I moved into an apartment building with a garage, so I wouldn't have to park on the street. Jason's car wasn't working properly, so he took it to a garage. Athlete. Athletes from around the world will be playing sports for their countries at the Olympic Games. Compete. Hundreds of people competed on the TV show to become a famous fashion model. Medal. Stephen won a silver medal for getting second place in the race.
智慧小补帖。
Rival. Boo. Despite. Racist.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net